Let's move away from that matters corruption just to look at a few more stories in the dailies, and I would like us to focus on matters governance. There was the devolution, basically governors coming together to give account of what they have been doing, and they have excuses, one of them being the fact that revenue collection for them has been a problem. They've not had enough money, and a barrage of excuses. Again, this seems to be a blame game that Kenyans are used to. That's on page 4 of the Standard, and also on page 6 of the Standard, there's also another story there which maybe I want to hear your comments. And this is the Deputy Governor for Kiambu County, Nyoro, James Nyoro, coming out to say that he has had it in terms of trying to work under Governor Waititu, and he's not going to resign. We know that we already have a deputy governor who resigned, and this is in Nairobi, Polycarp Igathe and Mike Sonko. So your thoughts, gentlemen, on devolution and the fact that it seems that like all we have done is transfer the war that we had at the national level to the county level. Let me start with you, Prof.
First of all, I have to thank Polycarp Igathe, and I have to extend that to Mr. Nyoro. Nyoro's earning 2 million shillings every month at Bill Gates. I've known Nyoro for a very long time. And
why thank Polycarp?
Polycarp is a man. If you're working with somebody who has the belief of a stooge, somebody who has no common sense, somebody who is a mediocre in his operation.
But Nairobians may look at it differently in that they feel maybe they were betrayed by him. They expected him to win.
Who are the Nairobians?
Those who
the majority of Nairobians live in abject poverty. And when they are given little money, they can sing somebody's song, right? Today, if you are a drug dealer or a jailbird or a thief who steals from the government and you go out to dish out that cash, people will follow you. Notably in the Luya land where we come from. You find crooks waving on Prados with the money they have stolen, they cannot account for. I'm not calling Sonko a crook, but if you are going to work with a mediocre, like me, I cannot work with a mediocre. I will either slap you or slap me, and that's the end of story. So if you get a decent man like Polycarp, a man who is well educated, a man who has been in the West, a man who knows how things work, and you put him with somebody who would not want to go that way, what do you expect? That goes to Nyoro. Nyoro is a technocrat. Somebody who has worked with Bill Gates, somebody who has secured the support of Americans working for them, somebody who is morally right. How do you expect Nyoro to work with Waititu? Come on, let's call a spade a spade.
What did you have Nyoro do? Also
well, let him stay there. Let's see how mediocrity works in Kiambu. Let's see how this man will deal with him.
But if Polycarp is the standard, the SI unit of how not to work with mediocre, he resigns. So Nyoro technically should do the same.
Yeah, let us have the law. Let us have parliament to constitute the law, to give role to deputy governors, so that a deputy governor's office is protected by the constitution or by law. Not this issue of any Tom, Dick, and Harry coming in. Let us also have the parties streamline the role of a deputy governor. Okay. Let us also have the parties come in to instill discipline in mediocre governors like the ones we are seeing today.
All right, Barak, your thoughts on that as we wind up on the newspaper review?
I agree with Professor Jakoya, and I would go a step further and say shame on the people of Kiambu. Shame on the people of Nairobi. Shame on us Kenyans. We have become, as Willie Mutunga said, a bandit economy with successive bandit governments. That James Nyoro in 2013 was on offer in Kiambu as candidate for governor. But they didn't give him that position. You know what happened? That Peter Kenneth was candidate for governor in Nairobi last year. He was even candidate for Jubilee nominations. They bypassed him. And see what we have. Nairobi today is the headquarters of sewage in the streets. It's the headquarters of dry taps in the world. It is the headquarters of garbage everywhere. Because...
Is that the electorate's fault?
Absolutely. There is an electorate which is given the opportunity to choose. And it's an electorate that allows itself to be led by those kinds of people. Look at Nairobi here, where we get people being ferried in on lorries from Murang'a, from Laikipia, from wherever, to come and choose for us a governor here then they go away for 5 years. What are we doing about that as the citizens of this county? When we talk about these kinds of persons, they get there and they are thinking about stealing and looting. Now go to even what used to be called suburbia in this city. Go to Riverside Drive and look at the trenches in the roads in Riverside Drive. Go to Westlands and see where it is now a wasteland of rubbish and
I'll have
garbage.
to pause you there because we need to take a break, Barack Moluka. But I guess what you're saying is that shame on the electorate. Basically, shame on us
Absolutely,
Kenyans.
shame on us, Kenya.